In a row for so many days is gone. People are worried, people are wondering if actually they got too excited, they got dragged all the way up to nearly Sirte, and now the counter-offensive is coming.
We heard in Lawrence Lee's report earlier that those close to the regime are once again urging dialogue with protesters. Is that something the National Council there would consider?
Definitely not. They repeat day in, day out, there is no dialogue. It's over for that. Nothing else but the fall of the regime will do for them to try to settle, to try to have any other kind of conversation, may I say. They do say it's really not about punishing everybody. A lot of people in this country had to be part of the regime if they wanted to survive. They just want that top layer, meaning Gaddafi, his family, and the close loyalists, his loyal aides, really to get out, and then all the rest. He said, they say here is not a time of really purging a system that everybody had to be part of. They do say also that we cannot trust the regime. They do say that now it's reached a point where everybody has everything to lose if they change their positions, and I think that's why also militarily we're reaching that sort of deadlock with this advancement from this part and the counter-offensive on the other side, because everybody knows it's either you fight or you die.
Hoda, thanks for that. Hoda Abdelhamid on the ground in Benghazi there. Well, migrant workers in Libya have been fleeing the country since the uprising began. On the Tunisia-Libya border, workers from the West African country of Ghana say they're being discriminated against, and many feel their government has abandoned them. From Ras Ashdir, Mohammed Val reports.
Anger and protest at Ras Ashdir on the Libyan border with Tunisia. More than a week after they have crossed the border fleeing the fighting in Libya, these African workers from Ghana are feeling desperate, and they say they've been let down by their country.
We want to go! We want to go! We need the help!
It's very clear these Ghanaians are not angry with the Tunisian government. They said they love the Tunisian government. They said they love Tunisia, but they are angry with their own government, they say, because it has not come to help them.
They also complain of what they think is discrimination against them in the camp.
Everywhere we go, Bangladesh. We don't know where to eat. When we join a queue, tabu, Bangladesh. No Ghana, no Nigeria. You don't understand. We don't understand the reason why we are black or what.
But local Tunisian workers and volunteers are denying the charge.
Guys, you are in home here. You are home right now here.
Yes.
So we're gonna help you to go back. We will help you to go back.
Ghanaian migrants have described some of the horrors they went through before getting out of Libya.
You see, they take my money. They next thing on my back. We want to go Ghana. We want to go Ghana government to come and take us from here.
One of their wounded still cannot walk.
No problem. Keep quiet.
Another is writhing from cramps and fever inside the tent. It's obvious that the situation of these African workers was hazardous. The rebels accused them of serving as mercenaries for the Libyan regime, and at the same time, they say they have been beaten and looted by Gaddafi's security forces. After all those hardships, they now have only one demand.
When are you taking us? When are you taking us back to Ghana?
Mohammed Val, AlJazeera, Ras Ashdir on the Libyan-Tunisian border.
Activists in Saudi Arabia say security forces have detained at least 22 protesters. That's according to the Reuters news agency. They were reportedly detained after a protest in the eastern town of Qatif on Friday. This amateur video, apparently of the demonstration, was posted on a social media website. The minority Shia Muslims have been calling for more rights in the majority Sunni country. On Saturday, the Interior Minister banned all demonstrations. Over in neighbouring Bahrain, Shia Muslims have been pushing for more rights in protests directed at the Sunni royal family. But in their latest demonstration, around 200 Shia protesters have been rallying outside the US Embassy, calling on Washington to stop backing the monarchy. Protesters have been camped out at Manama's Pearl roundabout since last month, but their stand has won only minor concessions. Zainab Al-Khawaja is one of the protest organisers in Manama.
We want America not to get involved. We can overthrow this regime. We can. The people of Bahrain is strong, just like the people of Egypt. All we want is for America not to support the dictatorship in Bahrain, because people here, they're going to have to sacrifice so much more if the Americans decide to support the regime.
Meanwhile, Omani state television is reporting that Sultan Qaboos has reshuffled his cabinet. Among the posts that were changed was that of the economy minister. The reshuffle is the latest in a string of concessions aimed at appeasing protesters demanding jobs and political reforms. In Côte d'Ivoire, gangs of youths and uniformed police have looted at least 10 homes belonging to politicians allied to the presidential contender Alassane Ouattara. UN peacekeepers have been unable to control the chaos in Abidjan as government supporters have set up roadblocks to stop them. Meanwhile, in the west of the country, rebels claim they've captured the town of Tulple, but government forces deny this. It's been 100 days since a new transitional government took charge in Somalia, and officials say pro-government forces are increasing their control. They've taken a strategic town in the west called Luk, which al-Shabaab fighters abandoned on Monday morning. Abdul Karim Jama, the Somali National Government's Minister of Information, spoke to us earlier from Mogadishu. He says the international community can be reassured by the progress they've already made.
We have been in office for 100 days and we have been able to accomplish a great deal more than previous governments accomplished in a few years. If you look at the progress made on the security sector alone, whether it's increased territory that came under control of the government in Mogadishu, in the central regions, in the south, the care that was given to the men and women of the Somali security forces, whether it's regular salaries, whether it's medical care, whether it's training or training camps or bases to operate from. There was a medical hospital for the military that was opened, along with the help of the AMISOM forces, the African Union peacekeeping forces. Great strides have been taken, and I think the Somali public, without a doubt, has been very happy with the results of the 100 days, and we are confident that the international community can be assured that this government can take this country to the peace and security that was elusive for the last 20 years.
Still to come this half hour, on patrol with international forces in Afghanistan, we look at how successful the extra American troops have been. And Al Jazeera speaks to Ayad Alawi, the head of Iraqia in Iraq. He explains why he turned down a high-ranking position in the government.
As the rain pours over Johannesburg, we'll keep your spirits up.
Hello, welcome to look at the international forecast. We've got a nasty area of low pressure which has just developed in the Mozambique Channel. It's bringing very heavy rain into northern parts of Madagascar, around 100 millimetres of rainfall here over the last 24 hours and more to come. That heavy rain extending across the Mozambique Channel into northern parts of Mozambique, southern areas of Tanzania, joining up with those seasonal rains which push all the way across into Angola. Namibia seeing some heavy rain along with Botswana. Come further south, it's fine and dry. Warm sunshine there for the Eastern Cape. Temperatures in Johannesburg at around 30 degrees Celsius. So some pleasant sunshine here. Pleasant